Okay. Um, yeah, well, thank you again, for being willing, and I'll just start with the first question.
Uh-huh.
What year were you born?
1979?
1979. All right. And were you born in Taiwan?
Yes, I was.
Um, and how long did you live in Taiwan?
Until I was 12, almost 12.
Okay. And what is the earliest memory you have of your childhood?
The earliest, I think it's hard to say, but with all the pictures,
Yeah.
probably when I was, I don't know, 3 or 4.
Okay. And do you sort of remember what that memory was? Do you have a specific, like,
I think maybe more like when I was 5, I think, going to kindergarten.
Okay.
Just like walking home and then we're just finishing kindergarten. Or like during kindergarten there's like snack time and it was like noodles. It was more like a hot bowl of noodles for snacks.
Okay.
Yeah, that was nice.
Did you enjoy kindergarten? Is that a happy memory?
I think so. I mean, I think I had to like actually walk.
Yeah. Okay.
To the kindergarten, so it was okay. I think. I don't remember much of it, but I think just like the snack was nice.
Okay. Yeah. So is that a regular snack in Taiwan to have like a hot bowl of noodles? Is that a common like school snack or?
I'm not sure.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so you mentioned that you had to walk to school. What kind of neighborhood did you grow up in? I imagine you must have been close, or maybe that was just for kindergarten.
The neighborhood, it was like, I mean, we were living in an apartment flat, so then it was like a 5-story building, and we lived on the 4th floor.
Okay.
Walking to school, both elementary school and kindergarten were sort of close by, like in Taiwan's mentality of like what close is. I think walking about like 15 minutes, going home like one way. Yeah, it's like pretty regular or normal for the kids to walk to school on their own.
Okay.
And yeah, so there's like different stores that you can like pass by and like streets, and you need to cross like major intersections and stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah, so going home, like walking back home was fun because you get to see like get to visit convenience stores or like stationery stores or snack stores, and then you can buy stuff. Yeah.
Okay. And did you receive pocket money then from your parents to be able to buy the snacks, or?
I don't really remember, but I remember like stealing the money. That was, I think that's more for like elementary school. Like I think we had a piggy bank, and then I would like, I hid the piggy bank like underneath the bed, and then like I cut it open because it's like a plastic piggy bank.
Right.
And then I took out the money, and then like bought the snacks from school, and then also like maybe like after school going to like buy stickers or like erasers, because I used to collect erasers. Yeah, stuff like that.
Okay.
So I'm not sure about regular allowance. Maybe I did. I don't remember, but I remember like just taking the money from the piggy bank.
Okay. Yeah, and your parents and your upbringing, what kind of values did your parents instill in you, yeah?
I mean, we attended church regularly, and then, so we had a lot of, like, we really valued family, so our relatives were living, my mom's side of the family was living in the north, like Taipei. So we would go there for Chinese New Year, or we would go visit my grandma there. And then we also visited my dad's side, which is like on the southern side, Tainan. And we would go visit them as well. And we were living actually like in a center, Taichung, like in the middle of Taiwan. So we were in the middle, but then we would go north to see my mom's side and then go south to see my dad's side of the family. So, like especially Chinese New Year, were really important to visit the families and taking the time to see them, both sides of the relatives. And so besides those, like I think just family time together, like having meals together, and then also hanging out with like other families from church they were pretty important. We would do like sports together, going out to parks or like field trips were important. Like family outings were really important.
Okay. So I'm just hearing, a value of family and traditions and holidays, and that they all kind of go hand in hand. Okay. That's really cool. And were there any, did you have like a favorite food for those holidays?
One of my favorite food for Chinese New Year is the like niangao, which is the sticky sweet rice cake.
Okay.
And my grandma would fry it, so she would put it in like this batter, like flour with I think egg batter, and then she would like pan fry it, so it's really good. Yep. Okay. I mean, there's tons of other dishes, but I think that's more like a treat. Yeah. So we get to eat that during Chinese New Year, so that's really nice.
Yeah, that's cool. What kind of conversations did you have around the dinner table with your family as you spend time with them?
You mean like when I was younger, like elementary school, or like?
Yeah, more your childhood, sort of. Yeah.
I don't know. It's hard to remember.
Yeah, no problem. If nothing comes to mind immediately, yeah.
I don't know. I think maybe the first few days, like maybe when we just get there, like more of the how long it took us to drive from Taichung to Taipei, because even though it's like a small country, but I mean, you can't drive like super fast, and then there's like major traffic for Chinese New Year because everyone wants to go home. So I think it took us like 2 or 3 hours to drive from Taichung to Taipei. Okay. Back then, so it's like a major trip. Like, you'll be stuck in traffic, and then there's like rest stop on the way. So we would the way like Taiwan's rest stops are like there's like always convenience stores. So then you can eat like hot soup, and like there's like the meatball soup that we always like want to get, and then like go to the restroom, and then you go on your way again, and then you get stuck in the traffic. So it's sort of like a journey to go back to grandma's house. Yeah. So we'll maybe talk about like our road trip, like how it was, whether we got stuck for a long time, or like just stories like that. Yeah, so I think maybe the first meal, I mean, because we would be there a few days, not just like one night. So we would stay over probably like, I don't know, 3 or 4 days and then visit different relatives as well. Not just like staying at my grandparents' house.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know, just the road trip or like, I don't really remember what we were talking about.
Yeah.
At the dinner table, but
Sure.
I
Yeah.
don't know, or just like seeing how my brother is. I mean, I have a younger brother, and he's always a naughty one. So
Oh, okay.
see what he's doing, what he's up to.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
How much younger is he than you?
He is less than 2 years, so about I think 20 months younger than I am.
Okay. Yeah, is he your only sibling?
Yeah. So
Okay.
yeah, there are only two of us.
Alright. Yeah, what role did he play in your life growing up? Were you close or?
In some ways we are close, but at the same time he's very creative and outgoing and adventurous, so he always has his own like ideas of how to play things, or when we're out on like field trips or like outings, he is always trying to see like, oh, what is this insect or what is this rock, and climbing and finding things to like, I don't know, play around. For me, I think I'm more just stationary. I mean, I would like to look around, but I'm not as crazy as he is.
Yeah.
So he's always like, I mean, I think there's one year he had like stitches on his chin, and then he broke his arm.
Oh no.
And then like he just all over the place. You know, he's really rambunctious. So he gets in trouble.
Yeah.
Or he hurts himself, like gets himself hurt a lot.
Yeah.
Through all these experiences.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I guess he has his own friends, or like the way he plays is more rough than I am, so
yeah.
It's different, yeah, growing up.
Yeah. That reminds me of my brother and I. Yeah, we're the same age difference. He's younger than me, and he was always the one sort of getting into trouble, but yeah.
Yeah. So you understand.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and what language did you speak at home? Or languages?
I think, well, before 12, it was like more just, we speak Mandarin and Taiwanese at home.
Okay.
Because my grandparents, they spoke Taiwanese. And then my parents, they speak both Mandarin and Taiwanese.
Mm-hmm.
And then when we were visiting my grandma or my grandparents, we would try to speak to them in Taiwanese. And I can still speak Taiwanese, but not as fluent, but I can understand, and I can try to say it in my broken Taiwanese. Yeah.
Okay. Alright. Yeah, and what did your family do for a living?
My parents, my dad was a professor at a university. He was teaching like philosophy. He was a philosophy professor, and also like logic and time management type of thing. Yeah. He was also a professor at a seminary, so he was teaching, I don't know, seminary classes.
Yeah.
He majored in PE before for like 3 years, and then he broke his leg, so then he changed his major to philosophy. So he has some background in PE or physical education, so he was also teaching PE at the seminary, so that's where like our family did a lot of sports, or I learned how to play different sports during those classes when he was like teaching the seminary students like different sports. And then that's where my brother and I learned like soccer, volleyball, baseball, ping pong, and different sports.
Okay.
And then my mom, she was working. She was she taught English at a university growing up, or early years. But then I think she stopped once like my brother was born or something. Yeah, so she was just a stay-home mom.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's like my parents before we moved to US.
Right. Okay. Yeah. And what was your relationship with your mother and father like growing up?
I think it's pretty good. I mean,
Yeah.
I think it was decent.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it was like super close. I feel like because my dad was really busy.
Yeah.
He was like, growing up he was like teaching, and then he was serving at church, and I think when I was in 4th to 6th grade, I think he was finishing up or doing his PhD.
Yeah.
Getting his PhD. So I think he was really busy, and then writing his thesis. And I just remember like every night, like sometimes he would go to church or like there's meetings, and I would tell him, like I would be at the stairway or like at the door, and he would going down the stairs, and I would tell him like, please come back soon, like miss you and stuff like that. So
yeah.
I think just the memory of him being busy or away from home was like more than him being at home. And then so majority of the time it was just like my brother and I, and then with my mom, she would like cook for us or take us to parks, or like lessons and like piano lessons and stuff like that. So
yeah, I
think my dad's presence was at home was not that much, like other than like we go to church and stuff like that. Like he would be or field trips or day trips, or he would be the one that drives because my mom doesn't know how to drive back then.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think the memory of my dad at home was not that much. It's more like he's the driver, or he's at church, or he's at meetings.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Or he's like coming back from something. Like because he was teaching at the university, and the university had like a farm. So we would always like, or he would buy the milk from the farm, and those like back then was like the glass jars for all the milk. So he would like he would like carry the whole crate of like milk up the stairs, like 4 stairs.
Oh wow!
Or 4 flights of stairs. Yeah, so it was pretty heavy for him. But
wow.
Yeah, I just remember like him carrying all the stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so your mother, like you mentioned, was a stay-at-home mother who probably taking care of more of the house stuff and yeah, okay.
Yeah. Well, my dad rode the motorcycle too, so
okay.
Yeah, and my mom doesn't know how to do any of that, so I think going to places sometimes there's like the motorcycle or the cars. Yeah.
Okay. Did your how did your mother get around if she needed groceries? Was she able to walk?
I think we took the bus.
Okay.
Yeah, either walking.
So public transportation.
Yeah, it's either bus, or I think my dad would take him or take her to the grocery store or something, or like not grocery store, but those like the open air markets. Yeah. Okay.
Do you have are there any memories of going to those markets with your mom? Okay.
Yeah, so they are really fun because like I mean there's like the meat market or like veggies, and you just walk around, and then you just, I don't know if my mom haggles, but you just go to the market and then you get groceries, like veggies or meat or fish. Sometimes, yeah, and then at the night market, then is where like I think sometimes we would buy like shoes or clothes over there. Yeah, they had the mall, but then I think the mall was like too expensive to buy, so then we would go to the night market to buy shoes or like clothes and stuff like that, or just get hand-me-downs. And yeah, so there's different day markets, like there's one near sort of closer to the seminary, and there's one closer to the church that we attended. So I think there are at least two that my mom regularly like go to get groceries.
Okay. Yeah, and so switching gears a little bit, what kind of education did you get while you were in Taiwan?
So we went to public school.
Okay.
Just like regular, like
Yeah.
students.
Yeah.
You have to wear like uniforms and go to the regular school. Yeah, I wasn't really studious. I think I don't know, even though my parents were like pretty highly educated, but they weren't the kind that are like, they're not typical like Asian Chinese parents where they're like tiger moms, and so they're really free, and they just let us do whatever pretty much. And so they're really different in that sense. So we just went to school, and then I don't remember like my parents helping me or like my mom helping me with any subjects. So or I didn't know how to ask, or I just didn't ask even if I had like trouble. I just like maybe I just made up the answers. I did go. They did send us to like Kumon, the math program.
Okay.
But I just remember like it was a horrible after school type of thing, and I didn't like it, and I just made up my own answers and then turned it in. So I didn't like that at all. I just wanted to like finish and get out of there. So we had that, and then I think we did a little bit of ceramics class and maybe art class. I think we did a little bit of gymnastic or like ballet type of thing, and I think by then they were saying like, oh, I'm too old. I think probably like, I don't know, second or third grade, like I should have started earlier, and then now I can't really do like any splits or whatever, so I just sort of gave up, I think. I mean like with the early, probably first grade or kindergarten, like one of my mom's cousin was a Chinese teacher, so then she sent me to her to like get tutored, like the sort of the phonics of Chinese, like both. So I think I took some classes with her. But I think the most consistent class that we took, or for me, it was like the Yamaha music class. It was weekly, and also I had private piano lesson growing up, and later on I actually majored in piano. So that's more of a consistency. Besides like public school, we got music classes.
Okay. So you went on to major in piano, did you say? Oh, okay. So, I guess your education in piano growing up, was that something that you loved doing? Or was it, did you like it growing up?
I think I enjoy it, but I don't think I was like studious enough to like practice a lot until maybe like college. I started practice a lot, but I think because I went to Yamaha, just a year training, I think that made a difference, and I think it came easy for me to like sing or to play, and like harmonizing the chords or the melodies, it came easy to me. And so I think I wasn't really good at other subjects, so I was like, okay, I'll just stick with whatever it's easier. And so that made it, I mean, it wasn't like horrible. I mean, I was I just like playing piano, and then I was just helping at church as well, like playing piano for the kids, or like during the meetings. So it was a good experience.
That sounds cool. Yeah. And like, what did a normal day look like for you at age, say, like 10, around that age?
I think just trying to get up and then have breakfast,
Mm-hmm.
which is depending on like, I don't know, I think when I was younger, it was hard to eat fast. So my parents or my mom would be like, hurry up, and then
Yeah.
it would just take me forever to like swallow or chew.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, or sometimes we'll get like those rice balls to go like at the corner where you just come down the stairs and then you buy something on the way to school. And then you go to school. I think after school, I don't think there's much. I think the after school is probably around 4 or 5 already p.m. So it's like the whole day. You don't just get out at 2 or 3. So it's pretty late already by the time you come home.
Okay.
And then on the way home, like, go to a convenience store or like just, there's no rush to go home. So you just take your time. Either to the stationery store or like the snack store. The snacks are pretty different. Like, you just get a bag and then you can scoop up like however snack, like you have to weigh your own snack. So whether it's like the fermented beans, it's like a soybean, they're like flavored, or you can do like sweet stuff. So you have to weigh them and then you pay them. So sometimes I'll get some of that and then go home and do some homework, I think, and then and then dinner with my parents. I think sometimes after meal, like, we will play a family game, like a board game.
Okay.
Yeah, I think if I'm 10, I think we were able to like understand and play different games more than like when we were younger. So yeah, we like to play board games as a family, and those are pretty good memories for us growing up.
Yeah.
Doing that, or sometimes we have a family devotional time, so we read like a Bible passage and then we share and then we pray and stuff like that. So those are pretty memorable as well. We continue to do that like growing up when we moved to the US.
Yeah.
So that's like something that we continue to do in junior high and high school.
Okay. Yeah, did you like that continuity of that was something that you did in Taiwan and then you kept doing it when you moved to the US?
I think it's pretty important, but at the same time, like, we didn't have, depending on like my dad's schedule, so then sometimes we were having, sometimes we wouldn't, because he would be like, busy with meetings at night.
Right.
Or whenever we were able to like, sing some songs or like read the Bible together, or like even just share and have some family time. Yeah, I think that made a difference, because we, even now, like, I have my own family and then we'll go to my parents' house, or my brother will come over, and then it's still like really important for us to like have a meal together and afterwards, hang out and just like chat about, our days or whatever's going on. So I think that's still important, because we do value our family a lot. Yeah. And just seeing how each other, like how we're doing. And we're thankful that we all live pretty close in the Bay Area. Like within an hour away or 45 minutes. So we will try to see each other like probably once a week.
Okay. Yeah, and then more a question about your like your friends in Taiwan. Can you describe a little bit, tell me a little bit about your friends growing up?
I think there's sort of two sets of friends. The first set is like from my school, I guess. They're just more for sort of just school friends. Like, I don't really see them outside of school. Yeah. But then within the school, like during, probably when I was 4th to 6th grade, I was more of a naughty person. Okay. I'm sort of like the bully, I guess. And I mean, I have like 4 or 3 other girlfriends, so then the 4 of us were pretty close to each other at school. But then like I would like sort of do pranks on the guys. I think at that age you're sort of interested in the opposite gender, and then there's like one guy or a few guys like, oh, they're pretty fun to hang out with or like do pranks on, and then there's one guy that I sort of had a crush on. So then I think I just wanted to make his life miserable. So like there's like one prank that was, so there's like water bottles, and then so I guess I took out the water, and then like I took out the drinking water and I filled it with tap water, and then on top like there's like a straw area, and I put like glue on it so that when he's like sucking on the straw, it's like glue and stuff like that. Or, like, and then the other one was like, I don't know, like back then we were like into like pantsing people.
Okay.
So then like, you pull down people's pants, and then just I don't know. Yeah, I was pretty naughty. And then there's one time like he had to walk home, so his direction of going home is like opposite from mine. So then, but then I was like, I forgot what I was taking, like either his homework or like something that was important. So I was like walking toward my house, but then he's like, but he needed to walk the other way because his house is on the other side. But yeah, just doing things like that to him. Yeah, that's like one set of friends, I guess. So it's pretty interesting because I actually like reconnected with them probably 4 or 5 years ago on Facebook.
Oh.
And now we have like a line chat group with just like elementary school friends, which is like a long time ago.
Wow. Yeah, that's really cool that you can do that.
So we found each other, and then we're like reminiscing about our childhood. And now, we all, majority of us are married and have kids, and so we still keep in touch. And some of them, they do have like a reunion like once a year and stuff like that.
Okay.
So that's my school friends. With other ones, with church friends, I still keep in touch with them. I mean, they're like different ones because like with a church friend, they're not all the same age. Some of them are older than me. Some of them are younger than me.
Right.
I think it's more of there's like a group of us, like with my parents, they have a group of people that they sing together. There's like a choir. So then all the adults are singing, and then the kids would like get together and like, have fun while their parents are in rehearsal.
Yeah.
So we would be in the basement of the church, and then just like play, and then, or sometimes we also have our own church, like kids choir as well, where we will perform and sing or like do recorders. Some of us will play recorder. So there's different things that we do, and I think majority of us we still keep in touch, like we're on Facebook, and then we're actually in different countries, like some of them are in Taiwan, but like one is in England and one of them is I think she's in Singapore. So different areas, different places in the world, but we still sort of keep in touch.
Yeah.
At least we're connected on Facebook. So like with that, like sometimes we have rehearsals at church and we'll see each other, or at church there's like, meetings at church.
Yeah.
Or after church, there's like, we'll go out for lunch or dinner, or people will come over to my house, or do like day trips or retreats, like going to different cities and like do a getaway for like 2 or 3 days. Like different memories of that. Just a lot of like family, like it's more like hanging out with different families.
Yeah. Okay. And are there any favorite memories about being in church? Because it sounds like that was maybe a big part of your life, or a significant part. Yeah.
I think one of the favorite memories was our church. Was like, I mean, it's a huge building, but at the same time, it's renting out to one of the like cookie factories or cookie company on the lower level. So the name is like Ime, which is like, it's a pretty popular food brand now. So back then, like they would have the soft serve, at the store. So it's like literally next to the church. So then it's one of our favorite things to do is like after church we will get the soft serve.
Yeah.
I mean, besides like going to church, we have a lot of like vacation Bible studies or like vacation Bible schools in the summertime, and those are really fun. Just all the festivals or like after church we would like watch TV and stuff like that. So that's pretty important for the kids to watch TV after church, and just like a lot of good memories like with all the like Christmas or Easter or summer vacation camps. Those are fun, and like after church like getting the soft serve are really important for us, and our family still really enjoys soft serve like wherever we go, like on vacation. So just I think food is pretty important, I guess.
Okay. Food, gathering around food. Are there any other like family favorites besides soft serve?
So I think, I mean, because we live in Taiwan, so then there's like the Taiwan Bawan, which is like a meat gelatin. I don't know how to say it.
Okay.
There's like glutinous stuff outside, and then there's like meat inside.
Okay, yeah.
It's almost like a meatball.
Okay.
Inside, and then outside there's like a clear gelatin type of thing. So we enjoy eating that, and then there's also the stinky tofu that we really enjoy in Taiwan as well. I mean, it's all over Taiwan, but growing up, we really enjoy that. And then there's it's sort of like a meat porridge noodle, or like, I don't know how to say it. It's called 肉羹面 or 肉羹饭. So we would go to a store or a restaurant to eat that, which I really so enjoy now, and I'm still trying to find like the store that actually has the same taste as how I remembered it like 30 some years ago or 40 some years ago. But so those are like really important to us, I guess. We enjoy going to the restaurants, and I mean, I think there's one that we really enjoy. It's sort of like a self-serve restaurant where you get a plate. It's almost like a sweet tomato type of thing, but it's not a vegetarian place. Like, you just get a plate, and then you go through this whole line, and you pick out your own food, and then so you can put it in your dish. And then I think either they weight it or they just do it by like the box or like the plate. I don't remember how my parents pay for it. Either they weight it or like per plate is like a certain set price.
Right.
So we really enjoy that because we don't really see that in the U.S. now. There's one store in the Bay Area that they actually do similar, but then you don't get to serve yourself. Like, you just tell the person like, oh, I want this dish or that dish, and then they put it in a bento box.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So that we really enjoy that. And then when we go back to Taiwan, like, I would try to go to that kind of restaurants or stores. Yeah.
I'm also thinking about how you mentioned, speaking both Mandarin and Taiwanese. And I was just curious, where did you learn each of them? Is it is one for school or one for home, or do you speak both in both situations? Just could you tell me more about that?
I think with school, it's just all Mandarin. I don't think we, like, all the teachers taught us in Mandarin, so everything was in Mandarin.
Okay.
But I think it was more of the home setting that my parents were speaking Taiwanese, or a mixture of Taiwanese and Mandarin. And then going to my grandparents' house or like my uncle's house in like either the north or south, then they spoke Taiwanese majority of the time, so that's where we learned or like we heard Taiwanese majority of the time, and then we try to speak Taiwanese back to them as well.
Okay.
Yeah, so because back then, like during my generation, like everything in the public school was all Mandarin already. But then I think with my parents' generation, they were like the first ones. They were starting to enforce Mandarin to be spoken in public schools.
Okay.
So, like for my parents, if they spoke like Taiwanese in the public school, then they will get fined.
Oh.
Or like there was like a punishment for speaking Taiwanese.
Yeah.
So even the teachers, like the way they were speaking Mandarin, they had like accents because back then, like the places that they were studying in, they were all sort of like they all spoke Taiwanese majority of the time. We're growing up, so then now they have to change it to Mandarin.
Okay.
It was pretty hard for them, so they have like a really strong accent when they spoke Mandarin. So that's like my parents' time.
Okay.
But then to my generation, it's like everything was Mandarin already.
I see. Yeah. Did you like prefer one or the other, or did it not really make a difference to you as a kid?
No difference.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and growing up, did you have like a dream of what you wanted to be when you grew up? Yeah.
I think I just want to be a teacher, I think. Teaching. I don't think I had like a big dream of becoming anything. It just I think teaching was something that I enjoyed, and I still enjoy teaching a lot.
Okay.
Especially I think younger kids. Like I tried teaching the high school or junior high. I mean they're okay, but then I think now my son is 6, so I enjoy teaching his age as well, or like even younger kids in their preschool or kindergarten. I think it's pretty rewarding. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, did you have any dreams about what your family would look like or your house growing up?
Growing up, like growing up in Taiwan or like after?
In Taiwan at that point in your childhood, if you had any just childhood like dreams and stuff.
Oh, I don't think I was thinking about those things.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. I think I was pretty content maybe. I think
that's good.
I just remember I was pretty like carefree as a child, so I wasn't thinking about like, oh, I wanted this or that. Yeah, it wasn't too crazy. Just enjoy the moment, I guess.
Okay. Well, I was and the next question I was going to ask was like what kind of feelings and words come to your mind when you remember your childhood in Taiwan. Yeah, and it sounds like those are some of the key words, is just being very content and carefree and happy as a child.
I'm pretty happy, like just we had a pretty good I think overall it's just like a really good memory growing up, like with a lot of family events, a lot of meals together, field trips or like day trips, and going to the park, going to visit the cows at the university.
Okay.
A lot of animals, and that's why I really enjoy like going to the zoo myself, and we love nature, and that's why like I take my son to the zoo a lot too.
Okay.
And going to the parks, just being in nature is really important for us. So I think I really appreciate that my parents took us to the park a lot, and just being on the swing, or going swimming as well. Yeah, just being out in nature, not so much like studying or forcing us to study.
Yeah. Um, yeah, that sounds really nice.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, if you had anything that you wanted to tell your 10-year-old self or like that age when you were in Taiwan, what would it be?
That's an interesting question. I think I would just continue to tell her, like, just to continue to be carefree and
Yeah.
enjoy. I feel like as I grow older, it's like I lose that carefreeness and I'm like worried or losing sleep over this and that. But just being content and being thankful and continue to enjoy the people around us and enjoy the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. Great. Well, yeah, I'm looking at the time. I want to respect the time that you were willing to put into this. So, yeah, I'll just say, yeah, that's the end of all the questions I have. And thank you for sharing your story with me. I really enjoyed hearing it.
Cool. No problem.